The lecture hall fell silent as Professor Martinez tapped his stylus against the holographic display. "Miss Rodriguez, I've asked you 3 times now. The university's biosafety protocols require removal of all external armor during xenobiology seminars." Elena Rodriguez remained motionless in the back row, her matte black exoskeleton reflecting the pale blue light of the molecular diagrams floating above the professor's head. The other students shifted uncomfortably in their seats, their whispers creating a low hum that reminded her of the Thoraxian energy weapons before they discharged. "The regulations exist for good reason," Martinez continued, his voice carrying the authority of someone who had never seen combat. "We're working with Class 4 organisms today. Your armor's electromagnetic field could interfere with the containment protocols." Elena's helmet displayed a cascade of warning indicators across her visual interface. Heart rate elevated. Cortisol levels spiking. The armor's AI, designation Aegis 7, spoke directly into her auditory cortex with its familiar synthetic voice, "Recommend maintaining current protection levels. Environmental threat assessment inconclusive. Miss Rodriguez, this is your final warning. Remove the armor or leave my classroom." 23 pairs of eyes turned toward her. These were the children of politicians, corporate executives, and military brass who had never stepped foot on a contested world. They attended New Geneva University because it was safe, prestigious, and far from the frontier colonies where the real war was being fought. Elena stood slowly, her servomotors whirring almost inaudibly. Her fingers found the manual release switches along her torso, the same switches she had activated in the medical bay of the UES Valkyrie 3 months ago, when the field surgeons needed access to the plasma burns that had nearly killed her. The first piece to detach was her chest plate. It fell to the floor with a metallic clang that echoed through the silence. Underneath, her standard issue academy uniform was pristine, regulation blue with silver trim. But where the fabric ended at her collar and sleeves, something else began. The burn scars started at her neck and disappeared beneath her sleeves, a constellation of silver and pink tissue that mapped the exact pattern of a Thoraxian plasma rifle's dispersal field. The geometric precision of the wounds made them unmistakably alien in origin. Human weapons left ragged, chaotic injuries, but Thoraxian energy weapons carved flesh with mathematical elegance. Her arm guards came off next, revealing forearms that bore the cross-hatched marks of emergency surgical mesh, the kind used when traditional skin grafts weren't viable. The medical nanites had done their work well, but they couldn't erase the evidence of what had happened on Kepler 442b when the orbital defense platforms had failed. The helmet was last. When it disengaged with a soft hiss of equalizing pressure, Elena's face was finally visible. Half of it was unmarked, displaying the natural olive complexion she had inherited from her grandmother. The other half was a map of carefully reconstructed tissue, the result of 6 months in a military hospital and 17 separate surgical procedures. Professor Martinez had gone pale. His stylus clattered to the floor. "The Class 4 organisms you're studying today," Elena said, her voice carrying clearly across the silent room, "are harvested from Thoraxian bioweapons. I've seen what they do to human tissue when the containment protocols fail." She gestured to her scars with casual precision. "This is what happens when your electromagnetic shielding goes offline for 13 seconds. She began reassembling her armor with practiced efficiency. The university's biosafety protocols were written by people who never served in the Outer Rim territories. My armor has adaptive countermeasures specifically designed for Thoraxian biotechnology. Its electromagnetic field doesn't interfere with containment, it enhances it." The chest plate locked into position with a satisfying click. "But if you prefer to risk a Class 4 breach because my equipment makes you uncomfortable, that's your choice, Professor." Martinez opened and closed his mouth several times before managing to speak. Perhaps we should review the safety protocols before proceeding with today's experiment." Elena's helmet sealed with a soft hiss. Through her HUD, Aegis 7 displayed a tactical assessment of the room's biosafety measures. As she had suspected, they were woefully inadequate for containing an active Thoraxian organism. "That would be wise," she replied, settling back into her seat. Around her, the other students stared with expressions ranging from horror to newfound respect. The war had followed her home, written in scars across her skin. But she would not let it be forgotten, especially not here, in the safety of an ivory tower built on the sacrifice of soldiers like her.